So we're doing something a little bit different today. Last week, one of my friends from college asked me to do a little collab with him and his new company called Air and Anchor. If you want to check them out, I'm going to leave a link down below. But they had an interesting idea to do like a Zoom sort of cooking class where I would go on their show, teach my friend how to make a pasta dish, and then we would eat it together, and then he'd sort of interview me as to how I sort of got here. And I wasn't very confident the technology would work, but it actually came out all right. And I thought I would share it with you guys, see if you like this kind of thing, and maybe I would do more of it. I kind of enjoyed it. It might be something that might make sense to do here on the channel or on the Patreon or something like that. So here you go, take a look. Hope you enjoy it. Make sure you leave some feedback down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. So let's just jump right into it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Cocktails and Cooking. I'm here with Steve Casado over here from the Not Another Cooking Show. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, dude?
So the plan is everybody's obviously home. Simple recipes I think people are looking for, but delicious. Before we get Steve underway cooking here, he's going to teach me a few things. It is cocktails. So tonight I'll be drinking my staple Negroni. This is my go-to cocktail. That is a third sweet vermouth, usually a third Campari or Aperol if you like it sweet, and then a third gin. So what do you got over there, Steve?
I got a nice little California Chardonnay. Keeping it, nice and simple. We're making it a nice light pasta, so it goes perfect.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, why don't we get moving on this, and then down a little after and share a little together and just talk a little bit about how the hell you ended up where you are now, man.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
We
buddy.
ready to go? What you got?
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully, I feel like I'm missing ingredients, but I'm going to try my best.
Okay, so this is one of the most basic pastas. Everything here should kind of always be in your pantry at all times. We've got spaghetti, we've got thinly sliced garlic, a little red chili flake, and some chopped up broccoli, and some extra virgin olive oil. What you got?
All right, so I got most of it, but I don't have garlic somehow. I only have.
What do you mean you don't have garlic?
I don't have garlic cloves, man. Don't judge me.
You have no fresh garlic.
Dude, my mother would be offended. But
you always need garlic in the house.
I know. I got a little bit left chopped garlic, like the little jarred. Is that enough?
Well, look, first off, that's going to do fine for today. But secondly, you got to toss out that chopped jar of garlic.
Okay. After this, I will never use it again, I promise.
Yeah, you better not.
Okay.
But we're going to give you a pass today.
Deal.
So what we got today going is we got some boiling water. You got your water boiling?
It is, yeah, it's almost there.
Okay, I'm going to put some salt in it.
Salt. I'm going to get salt.
I like using a little less water for something like this because you need starch in the water. So cooking the pasta in less water is going to kind of create a higher amount of starch in the water that's going to help this sauce come together. So before we add the pasta, I want to get the heat on to this pan. We're going to do like a high heat cook on this broccoli and try and get a little bit of color. That's going to add some flavor to the dish. So before we add our pasta, we're going to sort of get this pan a little bit hot. And this is essentially spaghetti aglio olio with the addition of broccoli. We got some spaghetti here. I like a single portion. A single portion is basically about that big. So I can measure about roughly that much is going to be a single portion. So I'm ready to go. I got my water salted, my pasta ready, my garlic sliced, and my broccoli ready to go. You good?
Yes, I'm waiting for the pan to get hot, but I'm feeling good.
We can add our pasta, and it's going to give us another minute or two to warm up the pan. So take your pasta, add it in.
All right, Steve, I got a quick question here. Short pot, long pasta. I sometimes burn the ends when they're hanging out. What's the move?
Just take it, and within a few seconds, it should just be able to bend easily into the pan. And then kind of try and just like cook it until it can soften up a little bit and mix, and then you're ready to go. This pasta is going to take 11 minutes to cook. which means we're gonna pull it out of the water at 10 minutes. So it's about 9:31. At 9:41, we're gonna pull the pasta out. So this is about timing. Now that this pan is hot, we can start to kind of cook the broccoli and hopefully time everything out perfectly. Get the pasta in that pot.
You must have magic water because this pasta's fighting me here.
Was it up to a nice boil?
Mild boil, maybe. Maybe that's the issue.
Okay, maybe it's light. Get it in there, just work it in there. You'll get there. All right, you can drop the pan. Make sure your pan doesn't get overheated. So you want it nice and hot, but not overheated. Let me know when you're ready to move on to the next phase.
We're good, man.
You're looking good? You got your pasta in there?
Pasta's good.
Okay, so the pasta's been cooking for about 2 minutes. So that means we have 8 minutes to cook the broccoli and the garlic. And that should be enough time if you cut the broccoli small enough. So I'm gonna get a little bit of oil in the beginning. I don't wanna get too much or else it might splatter. We can add more later. And then add the broccoli. And then we're gonna take a little bit of salt and season the broccoli. Add some more oil. This is an oil-based dish, so don't be scared of oil when making this. And I'm gonna get the heat on high and really start to develop color and cook it. And later we'll add some of this pasta water and sort of finish cooking it that way. Add more oil if you need, and just keep working it. Have a little sip of wine.
I can do that. I'm gonna do that part.
Always be cleaning as you go. So now we've been cooking for almost 4 minutes. Are we in the same phase or what?
Yeah, no, I'm keeping up, my man.
Okay, good. So we're at almost 5 minutes of pasta cooking. Getting some nice color. And we're about 3 minutes away from the pasta being ready to add to this pan. We're gonna add the garlic and the red chili flakes. In about a minute, get ready to add the garlic.
That it would have been great if in college you had this show and I could eat all the food and not have to cook.
There's no chance I would have made this show in college. Nobody would do the dishes. All right. Starting to get nice color. See? It's been about 7 minutes of cooking. We're gonna add the garlic now. You ready?
I'm ready with my makeshift garlic, yes.
Okay, good. A little bit more oil. Now, this is gonna start to be when we make our sauce. So you want a good amount of olive oil. The olive oil is what is the vehicle for flavor. So that olive oil is gonna take that garlic flavor and coat all of the broccoli and the pasta, and that's what makes this dish so incredibly delicious. We're just gonna cook that garlic until it slightly begins to brown, making sure that it doesn't blacken or burn at all. You need to control the heat. If you gotta drop it down a little bit, drop it down, it's okay. Now we're 30 seconds away from the pasta having been cooked for 10 minutes. That means we're about to take it out of the water and into this. So we have to turn off the heat because this is hot oil, and water and hot oil kind of have an angry reaction. So if you just give it like 30 seconds off the heat before adding the pasta water and the pasta, you're not gonna have a crazy reaction. So just don't worry about that. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a little bit of the pasta water. I have a ladle right here, you can see, and I'm gonna add the pasta water. And that's gonna finish the broccoli. And that starchy pasta water is gonna combine with the sauce. It's gonna combine with the olive oil and make the sauce for the pasta. So now I'm going to check my pasta's ready to go. It's perfect. Now I'm just gonna transfer the pasta straight from the water into the sauce. And then you're going to take the pasta and start to really mix it in with the sauce. That pasta is going to then take that oil and water that's sort of separated and emulsify together into one cohesive sauce, almost like a vinaigrette. So you need action, like shaking it in the pan, in order for this sauce to come together. Can you see how there's like a little bit of oil and water split up? We're gonna emulsify that until it's one. Now, if you can see, this sauce looks like more of a creamy, cohesive sauce. I don't know if you could see it. Doesn't look split.
Look at Steve. Will that thicken up or become less liquidy, or?
No. It won't thicken. It's an oil-based sauce, but it is created by combining it with starchy pasta water. So it's going to be like watery and loose. So like you don't have to serve it into a soup of oil. Like you can pour a little bit of sauce on the plate afterwards, but it really is like the act of the pasta soaking up that oil flavor and flavoring the pasta from within. And some people like it more saucy than others. Some people don't like it as saucy. They think they find it a little oily. But for me, I like kind of like a little bit sauce at the end of my pasta dish.
Something for the
at this point,
bread.
Yeah. At this point, you're ready. You're done. You're ready to plate. How are you? What's going on with you over there? You ready to go?
I survived, bro. Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right, we're gonna get it plated.
I'm keen on seeing how you plate this because I don't think my presentation's ever great.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay, so we're ready to plate. See, it's nice and glistening. It's soaked up that oil. It's not like oil and water. It's kind of come together to become one, and now we just plate it. Basically, take some straight into the bowl, and then get some of that broccoli in there. Pour some of that sauce over. You got to get all of that garlic in there. You see all that garlic? Use like a spatula and get all that good stuff.
All right, how did I do, Steve? Did I make it?
Parmesan cheese on top. Let me see what you got.
All right, I don't have parm cheese.
Oh, you did a beautiful thing.
Look at
That's a beautiful thing right there.
Great dish.
Then we got to do a little taste. This is my latest obsession.
What's that?
This broccoli pasta. I've probably eaten it once or twice a week for the last 3 months.
Easy, simple, delicious.
Cheers.
Really appreciate it. Cheers, bud. Don't choke me, man.
I just shove it down my face.
Like I said, so many series of events that kind of got you where you were now. And I know at some point you were shooting, food for blogs and stuff like that.
Doing food content for food brands and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like I think the key was like floating in a way. It's like almost riding a wave that you can't control. So it's just like I just gravitated towards things, and I wasn't scared to make mistakes or fail. And I certainly failed and I made mistakes, but without any of those failures or mistakes, I would not have kind of arrived at a place where I had a certain set of skills that really just sort of lent themselves to this. And I kind of always wanted to do something around recipes. And I always had a problem with the way recipes were communicated. And a lot of my past, probably I sort of have not been so great at communication, whether it be with friends or relationships or family or whatever. And through whatever kind of experiences I've had, I've sort of come to this place where I really want to nail communicating with this one aspect, which is food. If I could just work on what I thought was a weakness, which is communication, and turn that into somehow a strength when I'm able to kind of apply cameras and editing, then I'm able to sort of communicate things in a more kind of clearer way, maybe for people, or in a way that maybe I'm more that I would like to see done, so that I could maybe learn things better. A lot of what I do is sort of what I hope to see in the world. Like, I sort of created this show I wanted to watch, and then just like life took me down that road, a door opened to start a cooking show, and I just sort of worked it, and it just kind of came out. You know what I mean? Like, it's the art of just not forcing anything.
Yeah.
There's like that Chinese proverb, Wu Wei. It's literally the art of not forcing anything. So it's just by kind of letting things happen, you sort of arrive where you need to be.
But you were kind of at a point too, though, right? I mean, you said yes to a lot, right? Yes to opportunities that, hey, can you shoot?
Yeah, I would say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like it took really 10 years for you to figure out a point where you're like, okay, I'm actually valuable, like enough to ask for a decent amount of money for things, where it's like you always knew you were valuable, but nobody else thought it. So it's like, that's the hardest part, is getting past that point where you're being valued by other people, based on like how much money you can earn. And then if you've just sort of not worried about that long enough and done the right things and just focused on like acquiring skills that are valuable and useful in life and in your career, then all the stuff sort of comes back and pays you back.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what I'm experiencing now, which is a relief, because it's, as you know, it's been when we graduated college, everyone was getting these huge bonuses and huge salaries, and I went into marketing right out of college and got like a really shitty salary. And are we cursing here or no?
You do whatever you want.
Well, I got marketing has terrible salaries, so that was tough. And then I went into running a food truck, so I barely made any money, like any salary from that. And I've been kind of doing my own thing ever since. And it's literally just now things started to pay off. So that goes to show you have to have patience. You have to have skills, you have to have hard work, and you have to have patience. And with those things, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, but I think also it's one of those things that you were super passionate about, whether you're making money or not. You just knew you didn't want to do the other shit.
Which I think that the kind of riding the wave aspect was sort of what I meant, in the sense that like I arrived on these things that I loved: food, cameras, videos, teaching, cooking, because I just sort of floated and then arrived at this place where it's like, oh, I'm picking up a camera and shooting now. This is what I want to do. Or after I picked up a camera, it's like, well, that I should learn how to make videos. And then videos became an essential aspect of the marketing world and sort of kind of just the world in general. And then I saw like an opportunity. And long ago, throughout all of this time, I had really had a problem with recipes. Being a visual learner, I needed to see things a certain way. So when the time came, it sort of just like looked back and looked at my life and was like, I'm a competent cook. I kind of know what I've been doing it for long enough where I feel like I have a license to be able to communicate and talk about it and teach it. And I can handle cameras, which seemed like a superpower in that world, because if you could cook, you kind of weren't a cameraman, and vice versa. And I was trying to be like a whole cooking show team crew in one. And then I was able to then execute things I had in my head. Like when I ran the food truck, a lot of the problems were I couldn't do things I needed done right? And then after that, my whole goal was acquire skills so that I didn't have to rely on other people.
Yeah.
And so when I kind of got to this point where I was like, oh my God, I can start this cooking show and quite literally lock myself away, rely on nobody, and
You
just make
quarantined
it.
yourself years before quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the 10-year, 11 years of life just got me into a place one day where I looked around and was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, people love it. I mean, I watch your stuff. I read the comments. I mean, the people's comments too. You know, that one kid that wrote a letter to you just about like, I think it was him and his dad, and he was like started cooking for his dad. They lost their mom or whatever, and like, his dad wasn't eating well, and then he was watching your recipes and he was able to cook for his dad. Like that's pretty impactful stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
sure that wasn't
it's
like your
heartwarming
favorite.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think it comes from a place that people know that I care.
Yeah.
Like I don't go and I don't make trendy videos. Like the videos I'm making literally look like a curriculum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm taking you through a textbook essentially of recipes and old techniques that should be learned before you feed your family.
Yeah.
Essentially, like that's where I'm going. So it's like when people follow me long enough and consume my content, like they know I'm not in it to be famous or popular or to get views. Like this is really, I saw that if I could make people realize that I cared, I would get them to care, and then the views and the money would come.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm based in caring about making sure more people are cooking today than there were yesterday, which is literally my day-to-day guiding principle, then I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'm confident I won't burn out. I won't get too like I won't balloon or gain too much of an ego. Like I took the ego out of my work where I essentially was like, I don't want to be the best chef. Like I don't have anything to prove. I don't need to outdo anybody. I just need to make sure you're better at cooking this dish than you were before we talked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. And I think that resonates with people. Like we're making easy stuff. You saw that. Like there was nothing really difficult there. It just takes a little bit of confidence and, you know, making it a couple times to see like what's happening, and then you got it, you know?
Yeah, no, delicious dish, super quick. Definitely something to make on Friday night because I don't feel like doing anything.
It's a beautiful thing.
After teaching your kids for 5 days a week.
Single life, baby.
I told you my youngest is like because we've been home so much, and I would have never known this, dude. Loves cooking. He hears the pan, and this is what I come. He just runs in. This is his stool, and he pulls it as close as possible to the stove, which is pretty scary, or the sink, and he washes all the dishes too when he's done cooking. But like he's super into food, like eats spicy, loves chili. He's only 3, likes to cook, likes to cut, he has his little spoon he runs around with. Like,
well, we'll have to do an episode with the family next time I come up and visit.
Oh, totally. We'll do something. We'll do some New England cooking. Maybe some lobster rolls or something. Some chowder.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So, for all of you who don't know, once again, Steve Casado, Not Another Cooking Show. Same Instagram handle, right? Not Another Cooking Show.
No, The Food Freak.
The Food Freak. Check out his YouTube. He has dozens and dozens of videos. Super fun.
I'm about to hit 200 videos.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when like you first started and you're just like, oh man, this is a lot.
Dude,
and
it was.
But they're not that long, right?
Well, they range. I think I tend to now do longer videos. My goal is to make sure you understand how to do something. So I basically make it as long as I think it needs to communicate that.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, super interesting videos. It keeps you intrigued. There's music. And like, I love how you leave all of like some of the mess ups and the mess edits and stuff like that. And you like pretty much put the text and you're like, I don't even know what I just said there. Like, that's the fun stuff too. Just showing people how to really cook.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Appreciate you, and can't wait for all of this to be over and your summer visit. So,
Yes. I'll be up there as soon as I can.
sounds good to me, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Have a good
Take
weekend.
care. Good night.
Bye.
But there you have it. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna leave a link down to Omar's company. He's a good friend of mine. They do good work, so go check him out. And also, if you'd like the recipe that we covered in this little class, then I'll leave a link down below as well. If you're a fan of the channel, then I'm sure you've already seen it. So now head down into the comments and tell me what you think about this kind of concept, this idea, if you want to see more of it. Really love to hear what you think. Sorry I didn't post any videos last week. I just sort of needed a little bit of a break. I was feeling tired, just wanted to take it easy and put no pressure on myself to kind of get something done. And I feel good. Back into our regular schedule, so stay tuned. Thanks to all my patrons scrolling up on the screen. Thanks to everyone who watched. Thanks to Omar for inviting me to this kind of cooking thing that I really enjoyed. Hopefully it turns into something a little bit more. Anyway, that's all that I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.